As I build my coaching business, I want to know how to effectively serve clients and make more money doing it. This podcast will pull back the curtain to reveal exactly how successful coaches are building their empires. Join me as I engage with top coaches from all over the world to discover their secrets. No theatrics and no theory, just real life strategy. My name is William Winterton, and this is Coaching Success Radio. And today I am speaking with Danielle Thornton, who is a coach who works with anxiety, OCD, and depression clients. She is joining us for a brief conversation about her business and what she's been up to. So Danielle, how are you?
I am good. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, it's just a pleasure, and super excited to get to meet you and talk to you. So tell me a little bit about what got you into the coaching world in the first place.
Well, I've wanted to be a life coach for a long time. I ended up in HR actually. But after kind of going through some struggles myself with depression and anxiety, I was able to overcome that. And like a lot of people, when you overcome something pretty big or you're able to do something you didn't think you'd be able to do, you want to help other people be able to do the same thing.
Awesome. So basically your journey is kind of like, I've been there, and I want to keep as many people out of that same boat that I was in before. So see if I can help people avoid that or overcome it, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially kind of on the OCD side, because the type of OCD that I kind of suffered with was very specific, and there's even not a lot of therapists who understand it. So
would you mind telling me a little bit more about what you mean by that?
Yeah, not at all. So I went through about 2 or 3 years period where I suffered from something called relationship OCD. And OCD is just an anxiety disorder that kind of, when it gets really bad, it gets into kind of the OCD stages. And it's just really extreme fear that starts to cause a lot of obsessive thinking and compulsions. And so a lot of times when people have a lot of fears around relationships, and you go to a therapist and they tell you, well, maybe you shouldn't be in that relationship. But, with a lot of types of anxiety, sometimes the fear isn't really realistic. And so it took me a while to find the right person to be able to help me. And so a lot of people struggle with finding the right person to help them with something like that. So that's one of the areas that I help with.
Awesome. So how long have you been in the coaching business yourself?
Just about 4 months now. Pretty new.
Okay, cool. So are you getting your certification? Are you just jumped into it, or what's your story with that?
Yeah. So I kind of jumped in, but through the process, obviously there's a lot to learn with regards to, marketing and sales and technology and all that. I really kind of just started by creating my website and reaching out to people organically on social media. And that's how I've found some of my clients so far. And now I'm really just, I also wrote a course on anxiety, like a 6-week course,
Cool.
which, yeah, it was great and I was super proud of it. And then it kind of didn't go anywhere just because, I think I did that a little bit too quick, in the whole process. I did some social media marketing with that. And so, but there's, and everybody on here knows, there's a lot to learn in regards to, building trust and credibility. And I think that's where I'm at now, is trying to figure out how to do that instead of trying to go full steam ahead. So.
Right. But you said you have a couple clients who found you through social media. So would you mind telling us, was that first of all, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn? What'd you use?
Yeah. So for me, I've used Facebook. There are mostly because of the groups. So with kind of the things that I'm dealing with anxiety, depression, and OCD, I found that there are a lot of groups that people are in, just with a lot of complaints and not a lot of solutions. So those were, especially the ROCD group that I was in, that's one I have been in for a long time. And that's where, I kind of just reached out to a couple people to see if I could help. And, some people want it and some people don't. So it's mostly been Facebook. I've done a little bit of, I've done a couple ads on Facebook and Instagram. You know, the reach as far as, you know, getting people to follow my page, that's successful. Like I said, the ads that kind of went to my course, I didn't have much success with that, but I've actually gotten some pretty good feedback on that from another person who coaches coaches. So
cool.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you, so you actually, in doing all this, it is a challenge, and a lot of people who get into this will start trying to figure stuff out. Are you working? You said so you're working with a coach right now, or?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Yes and no. So I've actually signed up, and you mentioned certifications. I've signed up for a couple different certifications, but they are not, I don't know how to explain it. I know you have your International Coaching Federation.
Yeah, ICF. Mm-hmm.
ICF. That's obviously the big one. The two that I signed up for, one of them is just with someone else who's had a lot of success in the coaching industry. And he has his own personal certification. The other one is actually someone else who kind of has a personal certification. So, you know, what it means is, you know, to everybody else probably won't be a lot. But the second one that I signed up for was really, it's through somebody who teaches a lot of law of attraction, and she's been really successful. And that's really kind of what got me to believe in myself enough to really do this, and kind of the mindset stuff that she teaches. And what interested me in that one was there was a lot of, you know, just personal development. So it's a little bit personal, a little bit on the coaching side.
Sure.
And kind of leans towards, you know, attracting clients versus kind of the sales side, which is a good fit for me. So
awesome. Yeah, it's amazing. Even as coaches that we ourselves, I know I've had a coach, I've had multiple coaches, but I've had the same coach for a number of years who's helped me through, because you need somebody on that outside to kind of show you and say, yeah, these are the walls you're setting up for yourself. You're bigger than this.
Yeah.
So super excited to hear you doing that. So let's just play a game for a second. Let's imagine that 5 years down the road, you got your business and you're growing. Where would you want your coaching world to be? Is this something you want to do full time? Is that something you just like to have on the side, or like, what does your crystal ball say?
Yeah, I would absolutely love to be out of my full-time job like tomorrow if I could. Obviously it takes time. So yeah, I would love to do it full time. It's funny because I never thought that I would have my own business or, you know, work for myself. But, you know, I think once you find something you're passionate about, that all can change. So yeah, in 5 years, I'd love to, you know, have a lot of followers and have built that trust and credibility, and kind of be doing the online courses and have some of that passive income coming in. And who knows? I mean, I've never been one to really like want to be on a stage and speak, but you know, that's a possibility too.
Absolutely. Anything, you got to hang on, because once things start going and you start finding out what you really want to do, it gets crazy. So you may end up on a stage somewhere, whether you want to or not, who knows? But it's cool. It's good. And I'm excited. What have been some of the things that you have felt, like we talked a little bit about some of the things that you struggled with, trying to find some clients online and trying to brand. What are some things that you feel like were some successes? Like you're like, oh my gosh, I mean, obviously you got a couple clients from it.
Yep.
I would also say even building a course out, even just doing that. What was your experience doing that, and how'd you build it?
Oh, that was a lot of fun. I already kind of had it in my head, and it was a lot based on my experience. And what I've really enjoyed is kind of using Canva for, you know, posts, and I did my presentation in there. I've never considered myself super creative, but I love the program. It's so easy, and so to be able to do really nice things in there is a lot of fun. But yeah, it was just something that I've had in my head. It was kind of the process that I put together after several years of kind of struggling with anxiety and somewhat depression. And I just kind of wrote it. Obviously it doesn't, you know, it's not extremely easy, but I'd already kind of had it in my head and just started out with an outline, put the modules together, and then kind of added to it as I went.
Awesome. Well, and it's going to be it's a good learning experience to start at least that process, because I have a feeling this is probably not your first and only course. It's maybe the one that got started, but then there might be another one in you, or two or three down the road.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if people are listening to this right now, watching, and they want to reach out to you, if they have any issues with anxiety, OCD, you said you have a website that's built up right now you're working on?
I do. Yeah, it's mostly done. It's www.lifecoachdanielle. And I'm on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, Twitter. So yeah.
You're everywhere.
I'm trying to keep up with all of it. And
yeah. There's a lot. They keep doing, and they keep adding them. Like every month, there's like 10 more platforms to go on to. So yeah, but I'm super excited for you. And I think just for 4 months in, having a few clients and at least being this good in your direction of, what you want to focus on is fantastic. So just keep at it. And maybe, I don't know, in a short time here, we'll come back and circle back and see how far you've gone in a short little bit of time.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, that was awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in and checking us out. New episodes are coming out every few days, including lots of conversations with massively successful coaches sharing their secrets with you. So be sure to subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel so that you don't miss out. And if you're looking for a way to start making serious money from your coaching, you need to check out my free training. It's at williamwinterton.com. I lay out the step-by-step on how to start making 5 figures a month in the next 60 days. Check it out, williamwinterton.com. I'll see you next time.